Hello, Talkin Fight Nation. Welcome to another episode of Neil the Deal as we romp around the world discovering the best new boxers. Right now, we're focusing on Mexico. And who do you have lined up tonight, Neil?
Hey, good evening, Graham. Nice to see you again. Thanks for having me out. Yep, we're going to continue with our fighters of Mexico, guys that are present right now who are fighting and are looking like they're going to do some serious damage in the year 2021. So there's so many Mexican fighters. I heard a really cool tidbit today, Graham, about Mexico fighters in general. They've had over 200 world title holders out of Mexico, which is amazing. And they're only the second country to have a world title holder in every weight division. So I'm assuming the other one would probably be the United States, but that's really impressive. Like, they really do take the fighting serious in Mexico, which is fantastic. And the fighters out of Mexico have always been very, very prideful and very, very tenacious and very, very skilled. So we're going to talk about another individual tonight from Mexico who's a very, very skilled individual. His name is Leo Santa Cruz. That is Leo Santa Cruz. All right, guys. Again, thanks for coming out and watching the show. Really appreciate it. I hope you're going to like this one because I really like this kid. So his real name, his birth name is Léodegario Santa Cruz. So he's just cut it down to Leo. His nickname is El Terremoto, which in English translates to the earthquake, which is interesting. So El Terremoto is his nickname. And Leo was born August 10th, 1988. That makes him 32 years old right now. His career started in 2006 and is right now to present. He is still active and fighting. He's fought in 4 weight divisions, weight classes: bantamweight, super bantamweight, featherweight, and super featherweight. He's done fantastic in those 4 weight divisions classes. He's been a world champion in all those weight classes, all 4 weight classes, Graham. So wow. He's been a world champion there. And so congratulations, Leo. Fantastic stuff. Your fights are super exciting, and we're going to go over a bunch of your stats and talk a little bit about what you've been up to in the last little bit. So, being a 4-time champion in 4 weight classes, he's only the 5th Mexican fighter to ever accomplish that feat. The other 4 being Canelo is one, Juan Manuel Marquez is another one, Eric Morales is the other one, and the last one be Jorge Arce, Arce, or Arce. So he's one of only 5 guys to do that, which is amazing in itself. Now, Leo had a very illustrious amateur career. He had a great fight total as an amateur. So he had a total of 155 amateur fights, of which he won 148. He had 148 wins and 7 losses. So that's a heck of an amateur career. I don't believe that he was involved in the Olympics or anything, but I know that he's unbelievably, he's been just doing really, really well up until his last fight, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So he as a fighter himself, I was watching a bunch of his fights again today. I have seen him a few times on pay-per-view undercards, and he did headline 1 pay-per-view. So I have seen him fight quite a number of times. And amazingly enough, every fight that I see him in, this guy throws between 700, like, this is a crazy number, 700 and 1,000 punches per fight. He's had 12-round decision fights where he's thrown over 1,000 punches. You don't see guys with over 1,000 punches in a fight very often. So this guy's motor just never stops. The guy's motor never stops. He just goes like an absolute maniac from round 1 to round 12, and he doesn't get tired and he doesn't stop. So he's very relentless. He has power in both hands. He can knock you out with a left. He can knock you out with a right. body shots. He's got his countering is amazing. He's very tenacious in the ring. He once he gets you down, he really puts the pressure on you, and he smells blood. When he smells blood, he usually knocks you out. That's what I saw with him. So he's a very, very well-rounded fighter, and he's going to be fighting this year apparently. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Now, he turned pro when he was 18 years old, so he was a young lad. He decided to turn pro. So we'll go over his pro totals, guys, so you can see how many fights he's got, et cetera, et cetera. So to date, he's had 40 fights, Graham. All right, he's won 37 of those 40 fights. That gives him 2 losses and 1 draw. So he has 19 knockouts of those 37 wins. That gives him a knockout percentage of 47.5, almost 50%. So he's definitely got some knockout power, but he does have the ability to go the distance and win those fights in the longer fights. Like I say, his motor never stops. So that's what he has on most of these guys that I noticed is they start getting tired and he doesn't seem to get tired. So he's just in amazing condition, like amazing condition. He must have some really, really crazy training stuff that they're doing, or a lot of road work or something, because this guy doesn't get tired. So he's won the titles. So we'll go over his titles here that he has had over the years. 2012, he won his first title. That was the IBF bantamweight title. 2013, he won the WBC super bantamweight title. 2015, he won the WBA super featherweight title. And then again in 2019, he won the WBA super featherweight title. So those are the 4 big world titles that he's won. And he recently, the big fight of his career, he fought Gervonta Davis, who we've talked about on earlier episodes. He moved up. Gervonta Davis is really a lightweight, so he came down in weight to fight Cruz, and I think that hurt Leo a little bit because Gervonta was a little bit stronger than him. I watched the fight, and it was a really, really good battle up until Leo got knocked out by a super crushing left uppercut that he literally, Graham, got knocked out unconscious by 1 punch. So he got caught with it. We got caught with a punch, but up until that, he was really holding his own. And he's a really, really tough kid. Really, really tough. So some of the other notable fights, obviously that Cruz versus Gervonta Davis, the most recent one. I believe it was October of last year, 2020. So he has fought recently. The other fights that I saw him that I really liked were Cruz versus Miguel Flores. If you guys want to check that one out. Cruz versus this, I believe he's Irish, Graham. His name is Carl Frampton. I watched a couple of those fights, and that was like fight of the year that one year. I believe it was 2015, 16, somewhere in there. He fought him twice. He lost the first one. He lost the title, but he regained the title in the second one. But both fights were amazing, like really good. So if you guys want to watch a really good fight, check out that Leo Santa Cruz versus Carl Frampton. I believe he's Irish, Graham Frampton. So it could be Irish or British, but he's from Europe. He's definitely from Europe. But those were some really barn-busting kind of fights. Just awesome. Like, that was one of the fights that there were over 1,000 punches in a fight. Like, I think Frampton threw like 892, and Leo was like at 1,065 or something in that fight. Like, you watch it. If you do the math on that, that's like 100 punches per round, like for the whole fight. So it was like, it reminded me almost of the Hagler-Hearn style or the Arturo Gatti, Mickey Ward stuff, where they just went head to head and it just didn't end. And they were both knocked out and got up, and like it went back and forth and back and forth. So great fights with Carl Frampton. He did fight another great fight. He fought him twice. Was a guy we just talked about yesterday, Abner Mares. So Leo fought Abner Mares twice. Those fights were amazing as well. those guys went like head to head, big time, and neither of them were giving up. So they both went the distance, and those were really, really serious fights too. One of them was considered, again, one Frampton fight was considered fight of the year, as well as one of the Mares fights was considered fight of the year. So either one of those guys, if you want to really watch somebody that's just kicking butt on both ends, both those guys were just kicking butt. So really good fights to watch. And apparently he's been contemplating retirement, but I really don't think he's going to retire. He wants a rematch against Gervonta Davis this year. That's what he really wants. He wants to avenge that loss. He's only had the 2 losses, one to Frampton and one to Davis, and he avenged the one to Frampton. So I'm thinking he's going to want to. He has talked about it. He wants to get a rematch, but I guess that's going to be up to the promotional companies to figure that out and see if they can work it out. But I'm really looking forward to this year, watching Leo again. And man, thanks a lot, Leo, for everything. Your fights are super exciting. You're super duper crafty, amazing fighter all around. Like he's really fun to watch, and we're just hoping that he's going to be back, and he doesn't retire. So he's one of those Mexican fighters. I'm telling you, they're just some of the best fighters in the world, and Leo's right up there with them. So thanks again, Leo Santa Cruz, for all the fights and stuff. I hope to see you this year, be it against Gervonta Davis or not. Just pick a partner and let's see you go. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Graham? I love this kid. He's a good kid, man. Good fighter. Watch some of his fights. You'll love him.
Yeah, I'll Google him for sure after this.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of guys, I guess, in Mexico, because a lot of them are in that lighter divisions, I've noticed. Bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight. A lot of guys, same with the Philippines. The Philippine fighters are smaller in stature, but man, they sure pack a punch, and they're definitely not short on heart, because these guys just they just keep going. They're like the Energizer Bunny, they just keep on ticking, no matter what happens. So let's hope everything goes well for you, Leo Santa Cruz. We'll be looking out for you. Guys, look out for Leo, and I guess we'll see them tomorrow night, Graham, 7:00.
Yes, sir.
Right on. I'll be looking forward to hanging out with you guys tomorrow, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of the bigger name Mexican fighters that are going to be fighting this year, and hopefully you're going to be there and come check it out. So thanks again for coming. Take care of yourselves. Have a safe evening. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thanks very much, Neil. Thanks very much. Good viewership for tuning in once again. Another great episode featuring Mexican fighters. Fantastic stuff. Good research. Well done. Remember, if you like the show, like, share, subscribe. And if you're going to subscribe, hit that notification bell to receive notifications when we're going live there. Thanks again, Neil. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Thanks, Graham. Take care of yourselves, guys. Thanks again. Have